Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and today I'm going to be going through this Craftsman tractor. It has an electrical issue, and I can see the deck belt's broken, and there's at least one flat tire. So we're just going to kind of go through this thing and get it all ready to go. It's almost a leaf season here, and this one has a bagger. So we're going to start by giving this thing a bath. So I'm just taking a detail brush with some Dawn and putting that on this engine to sort of degrease it a bit. Story on this one is I got it from a guy that I work with, I buy tractors from. I guess it was his uncle's. So he said that the tractor's fine. They told me it needs a key switch. So that's the electrical issue, according to them. Yeah, this doesn't look like it was ever cleaned. Most of them aren't. So I pulled the deck off, washed it with the hose, and now I'm gonna pull these blades. These blades are pretty new, and I could tell because we have a 90-degree corner here. So we're just gonna go through and sharpen these and put them back on. They don't need to be balanced because I'm not going to take much off. Alright, so I'm going to put these blades right back on here. They should be torqued to about 60 foot-pounds. I just set this drill on number 1. Alright, so quick inspection here. These spindles look good. Sometimes they crack down here in this area, so you want to look at that. That one's good. That one's good. And we'll check the pulleys on top of the deck. This is one of the first decks I've had that doesn't need any rust repair. Now keep in mind, this Craftsman tractor is an older one. I'm not sure what the year is on it, but I know it's older because of the transmission down there, rather than shifting up here on the side, like fast and slow and reverse. So these are actually a much better built tractors than the newer ones. They're just a lot heavier metal, and even, you know, the deck throughout, they're really built well. And this is a good engine. It's a Craftsman IC. It's not their top grade, but it's not like, you know, the Intech. These run pretty good. So yeah, this tractor's not too bad. We're going to check the top of the deck here. Alright, I just want to check these pulleys. So that's spinning with no noise, so that's good. This one's good. You hear a little grinding. That's this brake here, so that's good. These spindles appear to be good. This one is spinning and the brake's not hitting, so gotta take a look at that and see what's going on there. So I was just taking a look at why this is spinning, and it's just because this was getting hung up a little bit here, the brake system. So this thing needs to be able to slide. So once it slides back like that, now you can hear it's locked. So I'm just going to lube this up because you can see there's some rust there. It's sticking a little bit. I'm going to be using this gel lube. I got it from Terrell. You guys watch Terrell? This stuff's pretty good. We'll put that on there, and that should get everything sliding. Man, that really slid nice. Now we got everything moving real nice here. Alright, so we got the deck wrapped up. This tire's flat. I want to fill it up and see if it's leaking or what the deal is. I know this tractor's been sitting a while. So I'll just put a lot of air in there and see if it's leaking. A little soapy water. Next thing I want to do is take a look at the battery. Now the other day I tried charging this thing up, and it's not holding. So I just want to take a look at it with my load tester. Alright, right there, 10.34. English, in vehicle, after charge, regular flooded, cold cranking amps, 350. And this should just confirm that this battery's shot, so I know what's going on. State of health 0. Alright, so this thing's done. It says replace. So next step, we're going to put in a battery. So I yanked the battery. I see there's some water in the bottom of this box, plus it stinks. There we go. That's a reamer bit, that's why it's not drilling too well. It's only plastic. Oh, that smell reminds me of like clamming at the ocean or something. It's like that stank mud. It's weird, I didn't smell it at all with the battery in there. Alright, got the new battery in. Nothing. I hear the solenoid going. That's a good sign. Oh, brake wasn't on. Alright. Blades are off. Alright, so I heard the fuel solenoid. That's all we got. Before I do the switch, I'm gonna try and jump the solenoid before I start yanking that switch out of there. Well, the solenoid's in a pretty bad location. It's up in there where that red wire goes. Find a screwdriver. So there's two terminals up here. See if we can arc these together, and we'll see if this there we go. So the switch is good, most likely, unless hang on. I gotta check if we got power coming into that solenoid. That's the next step. Get that out of the way. Gotta put it that way. Alright. I could see the solenoid at least. So I believe what we have here is a 4-post solenoid, and it's attached through these bolts. And they're 7/16. Let me get the right side. Alright, there's a nut on the back of that. Wow, I got lucky, it rolled through over here. Alright, so there we go. Solenoid should be loose, so I can at least troubleshoot it. Alright, and I think the easiest way to do this is with a test light. Okay guys, so here's what we're going to do. I'm taking a test light and I'm going to ground the ground. And this is a 4-post solenoid. I'm trying to put it so you guys can see it. Let me turn the camera. We'll try and show you what's going on. Alright. So, if I put this down here and I turn the key to start position, it should light up if we're getting 12 volts. So, hopefully you can see that. 12 volts. And it's grounded. Alright, now, if I take this test lead and we go from the positive on the battery, I'm going to clamp the ground of that onto the positive. If I touch the other side, On this wire, this terminal should be grounded. Now that's showing us that we have a ground and we're getting 12 volts there. So all the power is coming through the key switch and it's coming to that solenoid. So the problem is our solenoid. So we got to change that out. Here's a look at the 4-post solenoid. It's called the 4-post solenoid because you have 2 posts up top and then 2 down below. So the way this thing works is you turn the key, and when you get to start, it's going to send 12 volts here. That's what we're testing for. So one of these is actually 12 volts and the other one's the ground. And that triggers the solenoid to move up and down. And when there's 12 volts as an impulse coming in here, this post is connected to the battery and the other post is a wire that goes to your starter. So when it works as a switch. So basically when this electric magnet closes, it allows the battery to go straight through these 2 top posts right to the starter. Some mowers have a 3-post solenoid, and it just, instead of having the ground post, it uses the base to ground. So you always want to make sure it's grounded properly if you're testing them out. Alright guys, I put in the new used solenoid and you will see that we have cranking. So that's a real good sign. So I'm gonna get this gas tank back. I smelled the fuel. It smells pretty good, not stale or anything. I noticed this is loose here, so I'm just gonna put that tag on, I guess with a pop rivet. Alright, so we're gonna try and pop rivet this. Well, that didn't take much. Hopefully it doesn't stick through too much and hit the flywheel. Alright, so that's done. Alright guys, I think I got everything electrically back together. I still got to get a belt for the deck, but I want to see if this thing starts. The guy said it ran good. Seems like it runs real good. So I was just testing forward and reverse. I see this tire's leaking, getting a little foam there. So we're gonna have to slime that, and we're gonna do the deck belt. All right, guys. So you can see she's the leaker. Yeah, mama, coming out. So we're gonna slime this thing up. Be a good candidate for a new tire, but we're just gonna slime it. So for a tire this size, 8 ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2 more to make sure it doesn't leak. So it's probably a good idea to lay this tire on the side so that way it gets in there. but we'll put 2 more pumps in there. So I don't feel like taking the tire off. So the way this stuff works is it pressurizes and it forces the green slime out, and the slime has some sort of fiber or something in it that clogs the hole when the air is coming out. So I'm going to fill this guy up and we'll keep an eye on it. I always like to overinflate when I'm doing slime. That really forces it out. And the best thing to do is drive it. So I should probably take this thing out and drive it around the yard. Alright guys, I got the belt in stock. It's 1/2 inch by 96. Alright guys, I had this belt in stock, so it's should be a 1/2 inch by 95.5, and I'll give you the part number because it was on the hood. Primary mower belt 144959. It's a Craftsman 1/2 inch by 95.5. So it goes straight across the back. It's got to go under this bracket in these little guards. Come in here. That's it, and that should hook on that front pulley. And there's a sticker here. Yep, that's how it goes. I just took a look at the oil and it looked very clear, but just a little bit low. So I'm wondering if they changed the oil and just didn't add enough. Sometimes they don't top them off because they forget about the oil filter. But this one doesn't have an oil filter. Go a little more here. That should be good. I also noticed on the starter, it looks like someone was welding on there, and that's because they're probably starting it at the starter. You ground it and then put your 12 volts to the starter screw, and that'll start the engine and run it. And I'm thinking maybe that's what they were doing for a little while. But they said the problem was the key switch. It was actually the solenoid. Well guys, tractor runs pretty good. It cuts nice and even. I didn't try the bag out, but I'm sure that'll work. It looks brand new actually. And there's no smoke, and the transmission's strong on this tractor. So should be a good tractor for someone. Anyhow guys, I'm Double Wide 6, and if you need a fix, check out Double Wide 6. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care.